Welcome to the channel, everybody. Today we're doing a round by round analysis of Canelo versus Munguia. We're going to look at some of the highlights and I'm going to explain to you exactly what happened and why it worked or didn't work. Why am I in the position to show you guys anything or teach you anything? I'm a 6-time pro kickboxing world champion, and many people ask me all the time, Gabriel, your hands are so good. Why didn't you go pro in boxing? I love kickboxing. It's my passion. That's why I stuck with it. But I'm going to share with you guys today some insights on this amazing Mexican brawl. Like, these guys just stood in there and just threw down, and it was an awesome fight to watch. So let's get into round number one. Munguia is the taller fighter, also has the longer arms, so he is snapping that jab out. He's throwing it lots, and he is probably out jabbing Canelo 5-1. Both guys opening up with the jab because it is the safer punch to throw when you're starting in a fight. Once you open up to any of the other punches, you expose yourself more. So both of them using that safety punch to get a feel for their opponent. As the round goes on, Canelo sort of feeling, oh, maybe I'm falling behind, starts to open up with those big hooks, which he's really good at. But overall, with the volume difference, you have to go round number one to Munguia. We go to the corner in between rounds and we see Freddie Roach. Is this going to make a difference in the fight? Having one of the best trainers in the world in Munguia's corner, we will see, but round number one goes his way. What's happening a lot in the early stages of round number two is this my turn and then your turn. And then my turn and your turn. Why does this happen? Both fighters know that opening up on the counters is going to potentially leave you exposed. These guys have awesome defense. They're throwing their shots and getting right back to their shell as quick as they can. Midway through the round, we see a really good body shot from Munguia. Really good combos, putting those hands together from Munguia, and he goes and wins, in my opinion, round number two. In the beginning of round number three, we see both fighters just standing right within punch range, really high guard, protecting themselves so well. It's really impressive to see these guys at such a tight range, willing to just stand there and exchange. And Munguia is doing a great job now at opening up with a block and getting into his counters. Those counter shots are coming and he's so fast. Why can somebody be so fast on counters? Well, number one, they have the ability to see the shot coming and they can tighten up, but even more importantly, then they can relax. It's that tightness that you need to properly defend with this really snug guard, but then relaxing to get that whip into the punch. He is so spectacular at this. And at the end of the round, Munguia, in my opinion, steals the round, like puts a stamp on it. This is my round, with a really solid combo. His speed, his technique is just beautiful. And that makes it 3-0 for Munguia. This is going to be an interesting fight. We start getting to this point where you're going, oh, okay, I've already lost a quarter of the fight if you're Canelo and you're thinking about what's the scorecard like. Early in round four, we see a really strong combo coming from Munguia, but a really lovely counter left hook from Canelo. The thing about Canelo is once he starts getting your timing, once he starts getting that ability to go, okay, I'm blocking shots and I'm throwing back, he is so dangerous. But it really looks in the early stages of the fight that the pace Munguia is bringing is a problem. But that's only until the counter of Canelo comes into play. He scores a knockdown. It's off a left hook and then into that right uppercut. What I've always noted about Canelo, which is really impressive, is he's so aware of his defense that even when he pulls his hand back to load up on that uppercut, he is so safe because he knows if he needs to, he can roll with the shot. But in this case, 1-2 lands the big uppercut and gets that knockdown. All of a sudden, he's back in the fight. 10-8 round for Canelo. Round number 5 starts like the quintessential Mexican boxing brawl. They're just standing there, they're both throwing, and then we see Canelo jab cross, little pause, and little spring back into his jab. Essentially a jab cross jab, but closing a little distance and taking that little pause. Sometimes that little offbeat, instead of 1-2-3, going 1-2, boom, just throws people off. They think, oh, you threw the jab cross, you're done, and then you tag them. I like it. Nice move from Canelo. And what I start seeing in round number 5 is this question, can Munguia actually hurt Canelo? We haven't seen it yet, but we know Canelo can hurt Munguia. Round number 5, going to Canelo. In round number 6, Munguia moves a little bit into a left hook. Gotta be so careful with movement, because if you happen to slip and your hand's not high enough, and very often when people slip, their hands are not way up here, it's very easy to move into a shot and increase the impact of that blow. Canelo lands his signature left body hook. I love the way he throws this thing. He gets so much torque. He keeps his chin fairly high up, like he's not really down. He just kind of whips it in, and the other hand is very high. Beautiful. Even though Munguia is so tight, he still finds the opening. And later in round number 6, Munguia unloads a combo, but he's throwing and not finding openings. He's not being creative. He's not being clever. He's just letting the hands open up. And that's the difference so far in this fight. He's throwing volume, but not creating openings. Canelo is the one who's going, okay, I'm going to bend down and throw up high, or I'm going to find a block and then come back with a counter. He's being the clever fighter, less volume, but more shots landing. And that's another round for Canelo. We move into round number 7, and Canelo early on lands the left hook to the cross. Why does the left hook to cross work so well? It's because when we come this direction and somebody sees a left hook coming, they're naturally gonna open up. Even for super high level guys, they make that mistake. They open up a little bit to block, and it creates that space down the middle. If you're looking for a simple, good combo to throw, it's left hook right there. As long as you remember that as you throw your left hook, if somebody starts something straight, they're gonna land before you. So you have to be very aware of that. Maybe drop the head to the side and then come up the middle. Munguia demonstrating some really good head movement, throwing his head all over the place. Canelo waiting, and then landing the body shot. Again, not over committing to things he doesn't need to, taking his time. If you are an amateur fighter and you're looking to be very effective in the ring, that's a big thing. Don't throw shots and waste energy. If you can be like Canelo, wait, find the opening, and then attack. Oh, it's gonna be so much better. And then to close off round 7, a big hook comes from Canelo, landing the last shot. Super speed, super powerful, looks really sharp, wins round 7. Moving into round number 8, Munguia throwing big combos, but Canelo just sinking in to that shell. Just so strong, and he gets a really nice curl in his back when he does this, which allows him to take those elbows and also protect the body. If you keep your back straight, it doesn't matter what you do, hands high, body's open, hands down, head's open, that little curl really helps protect you. And while on defense, Canelo drops his weight down and then level changes on the counter. Great way to get somebody having to throw low and expose themselves, because their shoulders are going to drop as they're throwing, and then that level change is perfect timing just to create that ability to have an opening when your counter is going to come. Another round to Canelo. We move into round number 9. Canelo has his hands up, but he's taking these steps backwards and is making Munguia miss. Sometimes being able to just go, okay, somebody's going to throw, and adjust with that backwards movement is great. Munguia is not taking the step back, and it lets Canelo land against something every time, which feels so much better than missing. Hitting something versus missing is going to take so much more energy. The miss takes energy from you. That little step back, so key as you get later into the fight. And then a great move from Canelo. He goes body, pause, and then up to head level. You get your opponent thinking about those low shots, and then when they see the hook coming, they drop slightly, you can go up high. Once again, another round for Canelo. He is starting to sweep through, and his great boxing skills and experience, and just one of the best in the world, is really being showcased. Early in round 10, Canelo gets caught trying to get some exchanges happening instead of holding his tight guard, and he adjusts very quickly, doesn't let that happen again. A little bit later on, he throws his jab, and then to forward jab cross with that momentum, landing the nice combo, closing that distance. Beautiful work. And at this point, scoring wise, Canelo probably won that, but I'm not even keeping score, because really Munguia needs a KO now to win this fight. Round number 11, Munguia throwing a lot, letting a lot go, but landing very little. And at the same time, Canelo not throwing nearly as much, but actually connecting with what he throws. Again, round 11, probably going the way of Canelo, even though his volume is not as high. Remember, volume does not always equal victory. Sometimes you have to land your shots, take a little pause, do that step back. That's something that Canelo has always been so good at. He doesn't outwork his opponents. He just finds the right moments. Early in round 12, Munguia getting his head all over the place, employing good head movement, making Canelo miss some shots, making it hard for him to go, okay, I'm gonna have an easy target so he doesn't throw as much. Too bad we didn't see him do this earlier on. Because remember, target, if I put my hand here and I say hit it, you're gonna be able to hit it no problem. I do a little movement, you're gonna be able to hit it. If I start doing this, side to side, you're gonna have so much more trouble actually hitting that target. That's all Munguia was trying to do. And then to close off round 12, Canelo does his fade back uppercut, which is just so impressive. As he leans back, he loads his backhand so he can get that shot off so fast. Great way to close off the fight, and obviously he takes the win. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this round by round breakdown and you learned something that will help you do a little bit better in your own boxing, kickboxing, MMA game. If you enjoyed it, please get subscribed, and as always, train hard. I will see you back here soon for another video.